Hi, and welcome to my video on checking solutions. So we're going to be putting this paper into our notebook. We're going to practice how to check to see if a solution is correct for the equation. So you'll notice that each of our equations has two different solutions that we're trying to check. So I'm going to show you how I expect you to check solutions on your paper, the work that I expect you to write down, and what do we do with our work at the end? How do we make that decision? So first, our directions say to use substitution. So substitution means I'm going to replace, so I'm going to underline that here. And I'm going to write the word replace over it. Because that means I'm going to replace the variable x with a number. And then I'm going to check to see if it actually is. So I'm going to write also a note for myself here, yes or no. Because at the end I need to answer that question, yes or no. All right, so the first one says 15 plus n equals 19. Does n equals 3 or n equal 4? So I got to figure out which of those is correct. So I'm going to start with n equals 3, and I'm going to substitute in. So that means I'm going to write the equation exactly how I see it, except for when I get to the end, I'm going to replace it with a 3. So 15 plus 3 equals 19. Then I'm going to actually simplify each side separately. There's no simplifying to do on this side. I already know it equals 19. Just bringing that 19 down. But on the left side, I got to do 15 plus 3, and 15 plus 3 is 18. So notice how it says 18 equals 19. That's not a true statement. So I'm actually going to put a slash through that equal sign, so it says not equal to. Let me clean that up a little bit. So 18 is not equal to 19. So that's false. That means no, n is not equal to 3. That's not a solution. So hopefully the other one is a solution. I'm going to do the same thing again, but now I'm going to do it with 4. So 15 plus 4 equals 19. 15 plus 4 actually is 19. The other side says equal 19. I'm just going to bring that down again. Didn't do anything with it. And now it's a true statement. 19 equals 19. I'm going to put a check on that, so I'm recognizing that that's accurate. So yes, n does equal 4. That is my answer. So I tried out 3, it didn't work, and then I tried out 4, and it did work. So I want to show that I tried out 3 and it didn't work, and I also want to show that I tried out 4, and when I put 4 in, it did actually get both sides equaling the same number. So let's do the next one. This one's a little bit different. Our equation starts out a little bit different. So it starts out as 154 equals negative 14, and then there's an x. Whenever negative 14 and x are touching like that, that means multiplication. So I'm always going to want to substitute with parentheses. I'm going to try x equals negative 10 first, because that's the first one. So I'm going to substitute that in with parentheses, and I got to remember that that means multiply. So I'm going to, again, bring down this 154, because there's nothing to do there, and I have to simplify the other side using PEMDAS. There's really only one operation to do. I've got to multiply. So in my calculator, negative 14 times negative 10. And remember, a negative times a negative is a positive. 14 times 10 is 140. But I look at the other side, and it says 154. Those two things are not equal. I'm going to put that not equal to sign in between. So I know that x does not equal negative 10. But I got to check the other one to see if that one works. So 154 equals negative 14 times positive 10. 154 equals negative 14 times positive 10 is going to be a negative number. 14 times 10 is 140, so it's negative 140. Those aren't equal either, so x does not equal 10 either. So this one isn't either. On to number 3. b minus 10 over 2 equals negative 3. I need to remember that over 2, that big fraction bar, just means, is a fancy way of writing division. So when I do a number minus 10, I'm going to divide it by 2. And I'm checking to see if that works out to be negative 3. So let's start with 14. 14 minus 10 divided by 2 equals negative 3. 14 minus 10 is 4. 4 divided by 2 equals negative 3. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 2 equals negative 3. Wait a minute, those don't actually equal each other, so 2 is not equal to negative 3. And then that means b does not equal 14. So I gotta try b equals 4. 4 minus 10 divided by 2 equals negative 3. 4 minus 10 is negative 6 divided by 2 equals negative 3. Negative 6 divided by 2 is equal to negative 3. So negative 3 equals negative 3. I'm going to check that off. So that means that b actually does equal 4. So that is my solution. b equals 4. So now I need to check this next one, number 4. But I'm going to need a little bit more room. So I'm going to space my room out. Give me 1 second. All right. So we've got parentheses here, so there's more than one operation that we have to complete. So I need a little bit more room. So we're going to have to substitute in m equals 3. So I'm going to rewrite that. Let me start with that. We'll rewrite our equation. 4 parentheses negative 4 plus m, and m is 3, parentheses equals negative 28. So we've got to use PEMDAS. PEMDAS tells us to do the parentheses first, so that means I'm going to do what's in the parentheses. I'm going to combine it. So I've got 4 parentheses, negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1, equals negative 28. Now 4 parentheses negative 1 means to multiply, so parentheses, no exponents, then multiplication. So 4 times negative 1 is negative 4, equals negative 28. And that is not a true statement. Negative 4 does not equal negative 28, so I know m is not equal to 3. But I still have to try out negative 3 and see if that works. So I'm going to do this again. 4 parentheses negative 4 plus negative 3, close parentheses, equals negative 28. Again, inside the parentheses, I've got negative 4 plus negative 3. So I'm going to have 4 parentheses. Negative 4 plus negative 3 is negative 7. Close my parentheses. Equals negative 28. Now I've got to do multiplication. 4 times negative 7 is negative 28. Equals negative 28. And that is a true statement. They are equal to each other. So that means that my solution is m equals negative 3. All right, so go ahead and put that into your notebook. We're going to put that onto the next page after the last one that we just did. Glue that in. You can glue it in sideways. It should fit perfectly. And if you have any questions, feel free to ask me in person. Otherwise, thank you for watching.